Guys, microeconomics topics from beginning to end. Let's see how much we can finish. First, basically, it starts with functions, utility functions, and before that, we should know what is utility. And I think everybody knows about what is utility, and utilities have some kind of functions. Let's represent that utility of two goods by x. So it might be anything, any linear equation. There might be like a higher order utility functions, but we are basically focusing on linear functions. Let's take it as x plus y, means your consumptions will directly determine the utility in the addition manner. Otherwise, it can be said as x comma y equals to xy. We call this one as Cobb-Douglas function. Next, other than this, there is one more thing called finding the utility functions, how they are depending upon the prices. That is, we can give a equation x into px plus, because any good we are consuming, it has certain price, and we should able to get those quantities in our own income. M is income here, and afterwards we'll suddenly find out what is x and what is y. It will change depending upon the utility function, because let's say there is a utility function that has utility as x plus y, and the price of x and price of y will have some pretty good impact, because if you have price of x 2 and this one has 3, when you add the quantities, you will obviously get more quantities of x if you consume. Like, there is m amount of income is there with you, and you can just use price 2 and you will get more x's than y if you do for m divided by py. Okay, this one will be obviously more, so you will only consume this one, which one, x, and at that time prices of y and the quantity of y you consume doesn't matter, because you don't want to consume the price y, right? That's one case. And if you go to other cases, you know about complementary goods. What are complementary goods? Basically, tea, right? Tea is made with the sugar and water, which is irrelevant discussion, because we don't buy water. Okay, it's a factor when where the water is bought, but everywhere water is like a freely available resource. And another one is tea powder. Now, tea powder and sugar, if you want 2 cups of coffee, you use certain amount. It is x quantity and it is y quantity. In this quantity only, x plus, let's say, y to y or whatever, in this manner only you use, or for every x you use 2y amount of powder, or you can say it's not 2y, but it's like a 2x amount you are using y amount of tea powder in a certain ratio. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay, in a certain ratio you will use that one. Okay, this itself is a complementary good, because you can't use a one product without using the another product in order to get the final product. This is complementary, and complementary goods are used with a function, min function. Okay, min of means minimum this much. If you want to do like 1 cup of tea, you should use 2 spoons of sugar. For that, minimum 1 cup of tea is used, or for 1 spoon of tea you use minimum 2 spoons of sugar. This is what this min function signifies whatever it might be x comma y. Okay, and if you draw the graph, and I didn't explain much about graphs in this whole thing, but now I will do. Basically, suppose until now I used three utility functions. Utility is not x plus y for, this is called supplementary function, sorry, substitute goods, for substitute goods. U equals to min of x comma y for complementary goods, and along with that u equals to xy. We haven't discussed about this one, and I told you this is cooperative loss function. We'll discuss about that later. And yeah, even here also, okay, whenever you are going to find the utility is measured by a curve. Okay, I haven't told you about that one also. That is called indifference curve. Okay, indifference curve. Here, see here, indifference curve is a measure of utility in x comma y axis by consuming two goods. Let's say you have this one, which one, substitute goods, and this is x quantity, this is y quantity. The first thing I want to ask you is how much x can you consume when you are not consuming y. You can consume x. How much you can get x? There is totally m amount. For every x you are paying px. Whatever you will get, that much you will consume. And for y, means when you are not consuming x and only consuming y, will give the total money or the income, and you will pay the price py for each good. That much means you will get. It's like finding the axis. Okay, now it's m by px comma 0, and here 0 comma m by py. Or I can directly say that this itself is a quantity y, that is this much quantity, and here this is this much quantity of x. You got. Now you can join the line. That is the total or the maximum quantity you can get. Now utility is how much, means the utility function should obey this indifference curve should obey this utility, okay, utility equation. And how you can, let's say, suppose you are how much utility, at the same time how much utility you are getting. Let's say suppose you are only consuming x, right? Then that time your point will be here, and there is nothing, no. I'm telling for same utility now. That's what when you say that indifference curve. Indifference means there is no difference. No difference in the curve, means that whole curve is providing us the same utility. Okay, now you got only with x, you got u, and at the same time now for this one, suppose if you have x plus 1, now obviously y, I don't know what y, but you should obviously subtract 1 from y also in order to get at the end x plus y, right? And we are getting x, and this one is 0. It's only x, that's the quantity means. And when you consume only y, it should be x, means in terms of utility that should be y. Then only you are going to get the same amount of utility, which is u, because this is the maximum utility you are getting, that's x, right? So basically even that one also takes the point here, like this, means the whole will be again getting this one only. Got it? In this way we will find utility and indifference curves and amount of goods. After this, we can just solve the problems. And this one is there are two ways to, okay, basically we are going to maximize one thing. What is that thing? We are maximizing utility, means satisfaction in the given budget constraint, means the given amount of the income. We should be able to find out how much satisfaction we can get at max. This is one thing. Here we are fixing the income and getting maximum utility. How we are doing that? We are just like okay, we are just differentiating the utility function and getting the maximum. This is one thing. And one more thing is cost minimization. Suppose we are getting let's say that okay, why I got this one, yeah, let's say that we are getting this much utility. That's u only. For this u, we need to try to get as less, okay, we need to use as less m as possible, means that is m minimization. Okay, basically we are minimizing the m. These are the two things we will do. And one more thing we'll do. What is that? Yeah, we'll say that one is walrus, and one more is